morning, Kay.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm much better than I was yesterday, so that's a good thing.
That's a very good thing. Good morning, y'all. Let's hear some good news and why that is important. Real estate based.
Kay gave her good news.
Real estate, that's why I just put in there real estate based. I'm like, hang on, I want to quantify that.
What was Kay's good news? I missed it.
I got a positive settlement in my child support
Yay.
hearing yesterday. I was in court all morning. But if he pays April 1st, it's going to solve some of my financial problems. So yay.
Congratulations. I have some good news.
Let's hear it.
My sister wants to sell her land in Florida and I'm going to help her. I had-
Yay. Love it. Absolutely love it. Very cool. Very cool. Let me see. I know I have some good news. I know I do. Somebody else go and I have to look at my calendar and see what I did yesterday because I know I have something. So
Kimberly,
My real estate good news is I'm supposed to have an offer. It was supposed to come in late last night on Branch Road. So I think it'll be in the ballpark. So I'm looking for it as soon as I get off.
yay.
nice. That's huge for you. It's a big one. That thing has been, yeah, hanging on there. It's one of the things I talk about on real estate. Sometimes I'm like, if you do it enough, you're going to get not this one, but you will get the property that's just hell to sell. You know what I mean? It just, for whatever reason, you have a price right, you have everything right, and it's just hell to sell. But if you do it long enough, you will find one. So congratulations, Kay. All right, who else has got?
It's not done yet, but it's close.
Perfect. I went back up against Indeed yesterday. I don't know if they've emailed me or not to get this Indeed ad. I'm going to get my Indeed ad posted. And I was talking to a friend and he goes, I thought you were banned for life. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to do it. So I'm up against it again. I restructured everything and then I'm coming at him again. And it's not, I mean, nobody can figure it out because there are other people that I have the exact same ad that other people are running and they're fine. And mine, they were like, no. And so I'm in some sort of Indeed jail for no reason that we can figure out, but whatever. So hopefully I'm going to get out of the Indeed jail, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep on. I will do whatever I have to do, beat down walls. Don't care. I'm getting my Indeed ad posted. So it is, it's a thing. So by God, I will win. Anyway, that's
Love the determination and commitment.
thank you.
Well, I guess I'll share. I went on that webinar, the Zoom webinar that Gary was
Yes,
on
you did, Gary
yesterday.
thing. How was it?
It was good. It was good. I was fearful of it being so long because it's just hard. But it
Oh,
actually
long webinar. Yeah.
it went by quickly, which is good. I don't think I learned a lot of new concepts or anything like that, but sometimes it's good to just hear it again
Mhm.
and to, whether it's timing or whatever, or the way they present. So overall, I thought it was good.
What speaker did you like the best out of curiosity?
I liked them all for different reasons.
I was only on there for a couple of minutes.
Which webinar was it? I guess I missed it.
It's an investor agent kind of group that
Oh, okay.
it's a Facebook group that holds apparently all kinds of stuff all the time. They're very active. A lot of Keller Williams people in there.
She's a former KW. She might still be a KW. Jennifer Beatles.
Mhm.
She's in Arizona, I think now, but she's from Washington State.
Yeah,
She's
and
the one that does all the apartments,
Yes.
Yes.
She
but
did.
you have to have like 5 or 6 closed deals before she'll work with you.
okay. Well, you're right. There's something that they promoted that they're looking for investor agents to expand, and they do want to have 5 or 6 agents and or closings done. I don't remember if it was in 12 months. And then they'll sign you up for free and put you in that big network of things, but you can join the group without doing that. And the other thing that she did and is about to market is a a tool to help investors. So it's kind of, I don't know how good it is for sure, but it's very quick and a little more thorough than some things. And it's a evaluator, basically. You
Property
can,
evaluator?
huh?
Property evaluator?
Yeah, it
Okay.
helps with all that. So you key in the address, and she said some specifics. And I don't have the name of it in front of me. I do, but I don't. And it's still in the beta testing, but it sounds like it's about to be open for right now. You can sign up for it for free. And it's like, I think from what I can tell last night, it'll give you like about 50 in total runs. And it'll pull up, you know, all those stats that you look with for, you know, cash on turn, all that stuff, ROIs, cap rates, so all that. But it also does things like gives you the market value like you get from RPR or anything else, with stats, crime rates, that kind of stuff, all for that specific property right there.
Oh, it's a mashup, an aggregate from a bunch of different sites.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very, very quick.
Okay.
If you
that's
get
cool.
it,
called-
send it,
it's-
send it to
it's-
me, because I would love that.
It's called doorprofit.com.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
That's right, Liz, you were on that too. I saw your
Yeah.
name.
Did you like it? Did you try it?
I haven't tried it yet. I pulled it up to kind of look at, and then I, you know, to put on my list to look at, because I was interested with the concept of it and how it's all works.
Punch in your sister's property address if you can for the property.
Oh, I may do
Because
that. Actually, hers is land though.
Yeah, well,
Let me see if
still
I'll,
should,
yeah, I'll see if it pops up.
it'll give you, I should have been more thoughtful about it, but I like pulled up my address and I pulled up the neighbor who's going to be listing,
Mhm.
and just to see what it said. And I wasn't really thinking, because she said it was free while beta testing was going on. I didn't think about limits.
Mhm.
And I really hadn't done much with it other than that, other than popping back and forth a little bit. And it said, you need to sign up for da 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 da. And you get your 50 free whatever. So
Door, DOOR, profit.com.
.com. Yeah, I've got it
Yes.
pulled up right now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly what it is.
very, very
Alright.
simple and very quick.
All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Kathy.
Sure.
Way cool. All right. Who else has got, and I know that Liz has got some stuff that she needs to go over too. So who else has got some good news and why that's important? Bree's smiling at me. Other than that, we got crickets, and I don't know if Craig's frozen. Craig, wave your hand. Oh, I think Craig's actually frozen. Kimberly, do you have anything? Yes, you do, but let's hear.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
So I joined with Ron from Hoodle this
That's
week.
right, I saw that too. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I have a meeting. Thank you. I have a meeting with him this afternoon. So hopefully we'll get everything started.
Very cool. Very, very cool. It
Yep.
will require work on your part, but you were already starting to do it anyway. So I think it's a perfect dovetail in with what you're doing. I really do. Oh, Craig waved his hand. Woohoo.
Yeah, I was going through a bad spot heading home.
Totally
Um,
cool. So what's your good news and why?
I'm getting headshots done today.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, will you share those with us tomorrow?
What
If I get them,
headshot.
Headshots.
yeah. So if
Oh,
I get them today,
headshot.
I'll definitely share 'em. But yeah, so I put together with a lender here in town a headshot party for the EXPers.
Mm-hmm.
That's right here in this little town. So it's about 8 or 10 of us.
That's
Um,
for a
I
day,
even wanted to open it up to other agents,
right?
but they didn't. So which is fine. But anyway, why that's good. I get to show an updated picture of myself so people know what I actually look like.
There you go. I cannot wait to see them. They taught me this when I did headshots one time. They were like, positioning tells a story, but they're like, if you really want to project confidence, it's your entire body, or at least from like
Yeah,
your thighs up, it's like most of your body.
Mhm.
But if you really want confidence, it's that.
Yeah. And I've heard
Same.
that too. And I want to do a full body if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but that's what it does, and it's very cool. So I mean, it was kind of encouraging. A lot of times for women, they'll have us like turn, but for men, it's straight. And I'm like, oh, hell no, I want this, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Who else has got some good news and why? And then we'll dig into Liz's stuff. Oh, Anna. I always joke and say that I still have my baby weight. My kids, I mean, I have grandkids. Apparently, I have my grandbaby weight. All
How
right.
long can we get away with that excuse, Gina?
Right now, 32 years.
I've been doing it for 16.
Yeah, I got you all beat. And I'm
I've got a
carrying
2-year-old
triplets.
that I adopted, and I say I have his baby weight.
See,
There you go.
as a girl, we got the excuses,
It's all
man.
good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Liz, what you got? I know you got something.
Okay, just quickly, because I'm just not really sure where to start here. I need to, so when working with my sister's property, I know I need to find an agent in Florida because I am not licensed there. Specifically one that knows something about land valuation and all that stuff. So I'm not quite sure how to do that part. I understand that, I'm only licensed in Virginia and DC, so I can't do anything more than do a referral. So I'm looking for any insight people might have in terms of finding a referral agent in Florida within our team and or our upline, preferably first, and then, outside if that's what needs to happen. And then how people, if they've done any referral agreements, structured those.
How about
The
Betty
referral thing
Kappa?
is really easy. There's just a form you fill out.
For what, the referral piece?
Yeah, I did
Okay.
that on that land that Corrine had in Arizona.
Okay.
And
But
then,
you have to get the agent identified, I think.
yes, I was gonna say, how do you find the agent? That's the first question.
Yeah.
And
What
don't
about Betty
give them
Kappa?
your contact. Don't the name of your sister will be you will be on that form, but don't give them her contact information until after they've signed it.
Okay.
And our broker and their broker will have to both sign it too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, so easy and Sky Slope, piece of cake and Sky Slope. Would ditch a sign. All right, Kathy said something a couple of times too.
I'm sorry. I just said, what about Betty Kappa? She's right there in the area. She does a little bit of all kinds of
Yep.
stuff. So,
Yeah, she
Um,
does.
whether it's land, commercial, whatever angle that property might be able to go at, sounds like it could go. When I looked at it, looked like it could go a couple different ways.
Yes. Well, what's interesting is when we drove down to see, it hasn't really been developed full out, and she was just, I think she's looking at other parts of Florida right now, although, this one was an option. She looked at where her mother-in-law used to live and some other places that she visited that I think she's gonna eventually buy in.
Right?
Uh,
Did you like
and
the
then,
area?
I did, but you know what? Okay, I'm just gonna say Florida is a very long state. Although from what I understand, it measures the same distance as Virginia. It just seemed like it went on for an eternity.
Oh, that's got to
I
be
think
wrong.
Florida's bigger than, well, I know Florida's bigger than Virginia by far.
Well,
Yeah. I think you got to circle Virginia to get that distance.
yeah, it was a little maddening. So I'm like, oh my gosh, are we at the end of the state yet, or are we even getting to the next city? So that was
Go to Texas, babe.
Yeah,
oh, I
that
know.
was
I haven't
absolutely.
been there yet. I can only imagine. And that's on my list, trust me. But we started we headed down for a conference that I was having in Miami. So that's where we started.
Oh,
Then
okay.
we went, we did Fort Lauderdale for a minute, and then, which wasn't intended. It just kind of came up in the trip. Then we went out to Punta Gorda. I think it's
Punta Gorda.
called. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we went out there and just seeing the commercialization, the buildup, the distance between the two. She, as we get out there, she's like, it just felt a little more isolating getting out there, which I think is why she kind of took it off the list or started taking it off the list for consideration of building out there, but we still looked at the lot of land and everything and just realized it hasn't been developed. She's had it for 30 years. Her husband bought
Wow.
it like 30 years ago and they haven't really developed it out at all. So she's looking at, I think, to go back and re-examine Fort Lauderdale. Daytona Beach is where her mother-in-law owned a condo for many, 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 many years. And we went and we visited back that area too. So I think she's looking at those two areas to kind of consider building on, or buying in if she
You went all
decides.
the way up
Florida.
the Atlantic coast.
Oh my gosh, it seems like yes. And next time I will just fly to Florida and get the car instead of driving all that way. But it was a lovely adventure and excursion. I had not been to Florida outside of Orlando, so that was nice to see all the things. Or I'm sure there's more to see that I didn't see, but it was nice to see that and kind of give her a material landscape of what things would look like for her down there. So that's where we're at.
Hey, have you thought about buying the property yourself and developing it?
Eventually I'm working on that. I'm not there quite yet. It's kind of, every time I think, oh, it's a little further out, something keeps popping back in front of me and says, no, it's kind of closer than I think. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what that looks like for me right now. And actually, I've talked to her about maybe potentially doing something with her if she wants to do it, but we'll see.
That
Right.
might be interesting too, to put
Yeah.
together some funds and just go do it, depending on, I don't know what the potential is out there.
And
I
this
was
is just
thinking that property in Sarasota might be your starting point.
well, I don't know that she wants to be there at
Right.
all. So
But
I
as
think,
an investment,
yeah, it was just, I'll look at the economic
hard.
development stuff, but there was no in her block or there was nobody there, nobody for houses or anything. It is literally land with trees. Some of them had people who were homeless in tents just living on them.
Mhm. Oh.
Because there's no development going on down that end. And she's had it for, like I said, they've had it for 30 years. And so she's kind of hesitant even to do that in an investment standpoint because, who's around? Like she kept thinking, and I'll stop right here after this, but her original plan before COVID was to move to Hawaii with her daughters because one of them was going to go to the University of Hawaii and the other one was determining where she was going to go to college. And Hawaii was going to be her, retirement space. She was familiar with the island. The girls would be there the whole 9 yards. Then when she got to the land, and I'm sorry, Kathy, I'm going to mispronounce it again, Punta Gorda. She was just kind of, the first thought that came to her mind is nobody's going to come visit me here. So I was like, okay, just because of the distance, it felt a little more isolating to her than other parts of Florida that she'd been in. And she said, even if she did develop there, she'd be the only one. And for like, a big, I don't even know where the next closest one was nearest to her out there. So I think she's a little hesitant to do it for those reasons in that area.
In Punta Gorda?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many
Yeah.
acres?
I'll talk to you offline if you want, Kathy. I'm not, let me see, Craig.
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me, Craig, but I can let you know.
And is there a view?
Not really. It's just
Is there a
whatever the
lake?
residential street would be.
Okay, there's no lake or water anywhere near?
No,
Okay.
no. So, well, that would have been a selling
Yeah,
point.
and then
Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say if Betty Kappa can't do anything, and you're still looking for referrals from EXP, you can go to the EXP referral network on Workplace, and then also go into Ben, the Black EXP network, and look for
Okay.
referrals as well. And also your state EXP Workplace.
Yeah, also
Oh,
Honey
And then you
Badgers
can also
on
go to
Facebook.
Florida EXP Workplace. Yep, Honey Badgers. So you got a lot of options to look for referrals for that property to find the right agent to sell it for you.
I love
Excellent.
that we do. And so when I had my French guy in Washington State, which was you guys know when you have to sign the FERPTA, when your buyers buy the foreign
Yeah.
investment, whatever? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a piece of cake to buy, sign a form, blah, blah. And you sell, pain in the butt to sell. I mean, really can be, unless they want to just pay, if they, they have no problem paying the huge extra tax. And he really didn't want to. So I had a tricky situation of a not native speaker and FERPTA on top of it. And Philippe is just stubborn as hell. But anyway, so I went through, I think it was Honey Badger where I first started. And then went to the state group, I think is where I ended up. And within like 5 minutes, I had 3 people, once I put it up there, not a ton of details, but some. And the thing that was weird was I first started someplace else. Oh, I was going to use it as a recruiting tool. So I contacted the top 3 agents in the top 3 companies in that particular area, which is a tiny, very big area. And I'm like, lakefront property, no calls back, none. I'm like, and I was just like, hey, I would like lakefront property. I need to refer to somebody. Can you give me a call back? Nothing. I'm like, this is stupid. And then put on the state site. And within 5 minutes, I had 3 people, interviewed them. I had to shut it down after I found my guy because I had a whole 8 more popped in really quickly. I'm like, no, I got my guy. We're good. But the guy was so good, helped me with him, and then referred him over to my son. And my son loves him, helped him with his. And then has referred him to a bunch of other people. He's awesome. He's EXP agent out there. He's wonderful. Love him.
Where did you find your questions to ask regarding land? I mean, I think I'm kind of hooked up on
This
what
wasn't
questions. I should
land.
be asking.
This was, I just asked questions particular to what I needed in my particular situation was the questions that I asked. I needed somebody that had some deals underneath their belt, but was willing to really do either had the contacts with attorneys that could handle it, or was willing to go do the legwork to go find it and get it done.
Okay.
That's what I really wanted out of somebody that was good communication skills. She's going to need them, and the ability also patience, because when we bought with Philippe, I paid to have the septic tank pumped because it was from 1965, and I wanted to make sure that it was good and clean and everything. And it was old, but there's nothing wrong with it. And I tried to get him to sign the paperwork so that it could be officially noted that I'd had it done. And he refused to sign the paperwork. And I had to drive all the way to Seattle, which was like maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes or something from my house. I had to drive all the way up to where he was staying and have a conversation with him to find out why he wouldn't sign it. And in his culture in France, when you sell your property, everything is done, it's immaculate, and you hand over a jewel to somebody else. And I'm like, well, it's not that way in America. And he literally was, pardon my French, no pun intended. He literally was like, in my country, we do not pay for other people's shit. And I'm like, well, in America, you do. So I need you to sign this, we can't close. But I needed somebody so I told that story because I'm like, you might run up against something that you don't know, and you just have to sit down and find out what it is, and you got to deal with it. And it was perfect. And because of how he handled that deal, I knew he was perfect to refer out to other people also. So he's my guy in Washington State. And I have agents because that's where I sold in Washington State. A ton of agents, but I had a much better experience with the EXP guy. Much.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. So tailor your questions to what you're looking for personality wise and skill wise. Because in real estate, clearly it's both. And you'll be able to deal with both.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Okay, agent attraction link. Okay, this the agent attraction link for the Monday Night Live meetings, Anna, is you have to register, and then once you register, you should be set up for forever. So you might not be getting the emails. Does anyone have the Monday email that they can pop over so that Anna can get registered? Andy?
I'm never good at finding stuff, but I know I got it.
It's so weird, guys. I thought that if I sign up if I'm getting the notifications for the commercial mastermind, I'm getting the notifications for our Monday night meets, but I don't get anything for agent attraction or the group meets. The group meets are once a month, right? On Mondays?
Okay, agent attraction. That one, that's what you're talking about. Okay, that one, let Gary know that you want to be part of that.
Andre? Okay.
So, and then if you're interested in agent attraction, okay, I'm going to toss this out there to all y'all. once I get my Indeed ad up and running, if this and through whatever hurdles they're making me jump through the company, I will let you know. You can copy my complete ad and then run it in your area if that's something that you want to do. So Gary tested it out first, and then I have been battling them for 3 months now. Full admission, I battled them. I walked away from it for a little while because I just got tired of beating my head against that wall. And then I battled them again. And then I walked away because I thought for sure, I'm like, they're like, you're good. And then they shut me down again. And then I was like, and then I got
Oh
COVID.
my
I was
God.
like, I'm not battling anybody right now. And now I'm ready to go back to battle again. So if that's something you guys are interested in, like, let me know and I'll get you guys the Indeed ad and we'll do it. We'll get you guys set. Well, I won't.
Thank you, Rob.
You're very welcome. So Gary's on the agent attraction one. What's the other one you were? This Jennifer.
Our Wednesday group meetings, I think they're once a month, right?
Yes. So those, okay, so if you can ever find something, everything's also on the workplace GIA page under events. And there's,
Okay.
go there and you can get all the links. I don't know if the agent attraction one is up there or not, but I do know that Monday and Wednesday is definitely up there. Okay, you want to copy
Gotcha,
that
gotcha.
ad? Cool. You want to, once I figure out what I need to change or whatever to get it to go through. All right. So what we'll do is this, once I get it through, then I'll let you guys know, like, I got it through and this is my version. If y'all want it, then we'll get it out to you at that point. So I'll just keep you posted as to the Gina in this corner and Indeed in that corner battle.
Thank you so much. Love, do you recommend talking to Gary or you about team building?
Oh, I'll so talk to you about team building. I love team building.
Okay.
Oh.
Really? Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
What's
I
the
schedule
team?
the
Team
time with you?
building.
What's the
Okay,
team?
awesome.
What's a team? So,
Yeah.
okay, so, well, we're a team. Okay, so, so I've been working with Gary on this for a while because I just brought people in and then dumped them into what we do, and I've really gone after investors. And Gary,
Mhm.
specifically with me, he goes, because investing, I mean, it's my gig and I do it and I'm interested, and that's part of what, well, really I'm here because I adore Gary and he's trustworthy and awesome. And when we talked, a couple of years ago, I was like, absolutely, dude. Anyway, but my expertise is in regular residential real estate. It's in building teams, growing offices, running your own business like a business and all that kind of stuff. But it's pure regular residential real estate. And
Okay.
so we're talking, he goes, you run into people who are not going to be interested in investing. They're really just at the stage where they just want to build their business. And there's no extra, like, investing's 10 years down the line or 15, or it's not even on their radar. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, why don't you just build your own team around that? He goes, it's Shastine has one, Dustin Nulf has one. He goes, why don't you build that direction also? And I'm like, you know what, that's really good. So that's what I'm going to work on also. And then what we'll do is, it's just a downline that I'm coaching, basically, is what it, sort of works out to be. We're getting the paperwork from EXP to find out what that looks like. There's 3 different kinds of teams. There's a mega agent team. That is not what we are, because that requires hired management in every single state. There is Gary's type of team. I do not know what that's called, where you can go across state lines. And Gary's set up basically. And which, by the way, it's not supposed to be set up the way Gary has it. He's supposed to take a much bigger cut, but we set it that way on purpose. And he had to really work with the XP to get it through. So we're not supposed to, like, that was a special deal that they gave Gary and us that we get to keep, which is very cool. And then there's just but you have to have a certain amount of people to have that level of team. And then there's the first level of team, which is some type of team where it's just a few people and you're starting to build, and you can work your way through the levels if you want to. So I'll start with this and then I'll work my way into the Gary level.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I have an idea of like a team, not an official team, but so, and I've thought of this for a while, like finding agents that, like if I can get the leads through KV Core or whatever it may be, if I
Mhm.
can generate like a ton of leads and then find referral partners in the area, it would be in my area, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And we wouldn't be an official team through EXP, but I can refer those people to those leads to, and then if I vet the leads, get them pre-approved and all of that, I can ask for a higher referral fee. And also, once I start getting in a significant amount of leads, then I can start building my downline and an official team.
So, Craig, that is a referral-based business model.
Okay.
That is what I've built out a couple of times. So it's
All right.
it can be very, very effective. So when I had my team, it was, so we had it that way, and then I pulled 50% of your deal and I vetted all the leads, and you only got appointments, you didn't get leads. When I went in
Okay.
a direction and decided to dabble into what does a referral-based business model really look like? You know, how effective is this going to be? So I was still a team leader, but they knew I was going to leave the last year. And I started lead generating in a Central California, which was 2 hours maybe inland from where I lived in San Francisco. And I started getting leads and setting those up. And then I could sell those for 50%. The thing that I like about it, pluses and minuses. The pluses, I don't have to do anything other than vet a 15-minute appointment and hand it over to you for you to close. I don't have to coach you, babysit you, watch you. I don't have to do any of that stuff. The downside of it is if you don't have the conversion rates, you don't have the conversion rates, and that's a problem. And so the way that business model really works is to either one of two things: either build your downline like crazy with it, because it's a great way to build your downline, and because agents want leads, that's the number one thing everybody wants. And the other thing that is a really good business model is if you're tracking your numbers so that you know that this lead on average, every appointment I set, or however you want to vet your lead or whatever it is you hand out, 1 out of 3 get closed, whatever it is. And the average check for that is $10,000. So this lead's worth $2,500 or $3,000, whatever this is, and move to an upfront paid business model. Now, the beauty of that is you get paid and you don't have to worry about conversion rates. The downside of that is that you're not going to have agents clamoring all over, but you really need to, you'll just need to watch your numbers and look and try the different business models and see which one is a really good fit for you. The one that I've totally seen work where you're don't have to track as much really is doing it to build your downline and then pulling it in the back end off of your downline. So it really depends on what you want to do. It's
So what do you mean by what do you mean by upfront? So you would ask for
instead of me saying, look, here's this appointment, and when it closes, I want 50%. Here's an appointment, I want $3,000 for it. It's an appointment, it's completely vetted, it's already set. So, but you can't do that until you know what your numbers are and you have a street cred. Because if you're just Craig saying me $3,000, you're never going to get it. But if this is my company to build and this is what we charge, and a lot of companies start out Zillow referral based, and now they have whatever their Zillow thing is now, I forget what it's called, where you pay $10,000 a month or whatever you pay and you're guaranteed X amount of leads. Bigger pockets. There's a lot of companies, and because you can track and count and budget and plan upfront money. Otherwise, there's a lot of problems that can happen with referrals in tracking because there's no real teeth in the law to track, even though there's a piece of paper. So you have to follow up afterwards. Like you'll need MLS access, or you can call a realtor boards. Like we had a situation on the team actually where I called the realtor board and I'm like, this person did this and I think that they did that and they did it while they were with us and we would like to get paid. And so the realtor board was like, absolutely, here's all the details on the deal. But it's hard to track on again when you're doing that. So for me, when I built my team, when I had my 5 buyers agents, they were right in my office. Like I knew if they closed the deal. It's very easy to track on the back end.
Right.
So that makes sense?
Gotcha. Yep.
Your downline, it's
So I
very
guess also, yeah, and I guess also it would probably be wise to continue to be in contact with the lead
that would be
throughout
one
the
good way to set it up.
process.
If you wanted to do that, yep. If they're in your downline, you can track every time they close. So you can easily see, and you can see the address and you can see everything. So you have that way to track. You could track by keeping in contact with the lead. If they're in your MLS, you can see it that way also. I know you don't have MLS access where you are, you have it in other areas. So that another way might be to have reciprocal MLS access, which is usually pretty cheap. You know what I mean? I belong to this one, but I want to have reciprocal.
Yeah.
So it's usually pretty cheap. That might be another way to do it. Like I said, the Realtor board, they were, I mean, they were pretty easy to work with. Not all, I'm not guaranteeing anything on Realtor boards. They vary widely, like literally full extremes. They'll just need a way to track. And then another thing that we did, we're getting in the weeds here. And you guys, like, we're running late. If you need to go, but by all means go. I set up a Google form, and the Google form was set up specifically so that as I was talking to the client, I was putting in all the information, that I was vetting everything out. And then once I got done, then I started contacting people. Hey, I have an appointment Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Who wants it? And when I got the person who said that they wanted it, then that Google form could go directly to them. And it also generated out the referral form that needed to be done. So it was automatic. Everything was punched in. They had to sign the referral form, but you could easily have that set up in like a SkySlope type of a situation with KV Core. Also, I didn't have access to that stuff. I was building it on the back end. So I set that type of a system up because I wanted it as systemized as possible. So when I talked to the client, I literally was asking the questions that were on the piece of paper, filling it all in, and then it was switching back over to getting the agent until I had a couple of referral partners built in different areas that I just knew this one's going to be good for this lead and that one's going to be good. But it was actual appointments that I set. So
Yeah.
It felt for them was my value add that I did. And with Calendly, you can do that easy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kathy just put something in the chat. So yeah, reaching back out to them because sometimes the referral client or customer is unhappy with the agent or just doesn't respond to the agent. And so I was thinking, just stay in contact with them throughout the process, see how, they are working with the agent, if the agent has left them or whatever, and that way I can still continue the relationship with the customer and even refer them back out if they don't work out with the first agent.
Perfect. Yeah. It's very doable in KV Core to set up the automated reminders. And also what I like about it even more. So when I had my buyer's agents, so I hired 9 and then I fired 4. And we all knew it going into it. I was only going to be able to keep 5 or 4. But the part of it was that this is my business. These are my leads. You think it's your lead that I'm handing it to you, but I could go close it myself and get 100% of the deal. I'm giving it to you, and then I want 50% back, but it is my business. So if you don't close it and you don't have the conversion rates, I'm not going to keep you on my team because this is my business. These are my leads that I worked and I generated. So that keeps it as yours and your lead. And it's really important to have that mindset because on the other side, they're like, well, this is my lead and I didn't want to do it. No, that's not how this works. That's my lead. And if you don't want to do it, we don't want, then there needs to be one hella good reason, but there's been no communication. So I'm going to go with there's not a hella good reason.
Yeah. And that would actually be a vetted lead, not just a contact, correct?
Yeah. So what we did, when I had the team, mine were all sign calls. And so the sign call came in, I completely converted it over. I had literally had a I was back in the ancient days, you know, before there was fire. So I had a clipboard with a sheet on it that you filled in the squares of it. So it just walked me through how to vet the client completely. It was something that I designed, so I just had to fill it in really quickly. And then when it got done, I just set the appointment, and I always set it for not during the week that we were in, but for the following week. We didn't have Calendly, we didn't have anything like that. So I set it, and then from there, we had a system of who got the leads and how how everything went down. So it went straight to that agent, and then that agent just knew to show up Tuesday at 2:00 because that was the appointment, completely vetted lead. They knew that they were meeting, Michelle, and they were going to meet Michelle Tuesday at 2:00 and da, 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 da. So I set all of it, vetted everything. All Michelle really had to do was run the CMA, take the paperwork, have the conversation with them, list the house. So we had a really good conversion rate on those. We had a really good convert. Well, also I track conversion rates. And if you were the best converter, then you got all the leads until you were too full and couldn't take anymore. And then the second best converter got it. And I told them up front too, I'm like, unfairly fair. And I'm always going to be unfairly fair. And you want that. And when people will be like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Because if you're the kind of person that works really, really hard and hustles to get things done, you want it unfairly fair. You want that opportunity to go get more. I'm like, this is my business. We're going to go about it smart. We're not going to go about it with some crazy fair thing where everybody gets one and one person doesn't convert anything. That's different than me. Like, if you need help, I will train you, teach you, coach you, go on appointments with me, all that kind of stuff. But other than that, it's unfairly fair. And they do. A salesperson wants it that way. They really do. A good salesperson, they want unfairly fair. I mean, wouldn't you?
It's an incentive for everybody.
True.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, wouldn't all you guys want to know, like, if you were the one that hustled, you got everything? Or at least a good portion of it?
Yes and no.
As much as you want, because Michelle, so the way we worked it, Michelle's my top converter. And then it went down from there. And Michelle got everything until Michelle said, I'm too busy, I can't take anything. And then she didn't get anything anymore. And it all went to this guy until he said, I'm too busy. And then it went to this girl until she said she's too busy. And then Michelle pops up again, hey, I'm cool, I can take some more. Michelle got everything again. And then Michelle's like, hey, I'm too busy again. And it went down here. And the beauty of that is we track conversion rates. We did originally every month, but then we switched every quarter. If she got 30 leads, 50, let's say, because easy math, if she got 50 and she only got 40 of them into contract, well, okay, she's running at 80%, but this guy only got 3, but he got all 3 in contract. He's running at 100%. He got a shot the following quarter to be number 1. And he got every single lead. And so a reset every single quarter based upon pure conversion rates, just 1-to-1, not I gave you Susie lead and you closed Susie deal or got Susie deal in contract. I gave you 10 and you have 7 in contract. You've got a 70% rate. It kept it honest. They knew that they were going to get every single buyer's deal, that I didn't take any buyer deals ever, 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 ever. They got every single one. So they didn't feel like it was unfair, because that's another thing. Buyer's agents a lot of times feel like you're cherry picking the good stuff. Well, it's your business. If that's your business model, that's fine. That just was not my business model, and they knew it. So they knew that everything was going to come down. It could be a $35,000 lead. It could be a $750,000 lead. It was just pure, sheer numbers. And then you had an opportunity, even if you were the lowest person on the totem pole, you were only there for 3 months. You had an opportunity to become top person. And you also got to say when you were too full. So you didn't, because I wasn't going to hand you leads, and then you were too busy to deal with it because you knew it would screw your conversion rates over. And you knew next month you could go down to the very bottom and you could only get 3 leads instead of getting 50.
Right.
That's why we built it that way. And by the way, not my brilliant idea, stolen from car dealerships. That's how car dealerships do ups.
Okay.
Yep. So
Interesting.
yeah, different. Okay. That was a long conversation that I wasn't expecting, but it's a cool one. If you just want to build and that's something you're interested in, I will push my socks off to get this Indeed ad going. And then we'll focus these things also on some building and some team stuff. And bringing in downlines and setting up your systems and those kinds of things for whatever model you want to build. So think about kind of what you want it to look like, because it should fit with you and your personality. And like in the beginning, I just referred crap off my plate. Far away, obnoxious people, super cheap price point, because I got too busy to be able to handle all of it. So just the crap went away. And then when I brought some people in, specifically my admin first, then I could bring the crap back in again to pay for the cost of my admin. And then as I grew again, I got too busy, so I could put the buyer's agents back out and and build that end of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can build fast in a down market with the right leads triggers. You can build really,
Mhm.
really fast, really
Okay.
fast. And also, my last little bit, the first person I brought in as my buyer's agent, the first person I tried to bring on as a buyer's agent I tried for like 2 or 3 months of, come on, I knew she'd be perfect. I'm like, come on, work with me. And she was like, oh, I don't know. And finally I went to my broker, Nona, who I adored. And I'm like, what is the deal? Like, I don't understand this. Like, I can't seem to get through her head. And Nona goes, if she doesn't see the value in what you're doing, F her. And I was like, "Ooh, okay, all right." But what happened was, I gathered 9 people, and we had a big office. We had, like 150 or 160 or 80 or whatever. It's a big office. So I gathered up 9 people, ran them through for, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks or whatever, let 4 of them go. Didn't really fire them, let them go. And then after the team and their businesses took off, right? Because my business was taken off. So their businesses exploded off. So then that girl came back and she's like, I really want your team. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. And this was not a vengeful thing. This is just the God's honest truth. I don't have enough leads to feed you. When I do get there, I'd love to have you on, but I'm not there. I don't have enough. I knew I could feed 5 people and keep them all busy and happy, because I never want people to be on my team and, there's no leads filtering down because of the way we filtered them down. And
Gotcha.
so the first one was hard because they don't see the value. But then once they do, you will get people clamoring to be part of the group. Clamoring. But that first one's hard.
I think I want to explore this more.
You got it.
Yeah.
Is this part of
Just
your
help Anna out too.
part of your thinking time?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Slink, congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, we will have some fun. I'm going to commit to every single day pushing on this Indeed thing. I don't know if I have an answer yet this morning, but pushing on every single day to get it through, and hopefully I can get it through in like a week or 2. And then as soon as I have it, I'll get it out to you guys and we'll figure out if that's the way you want to do it. It looks like an easy way to do it. And then build from there.
All right.
All right, who's taking tomorrow, by the way? For the keep the score and talking on that. Kay's already done it and Craig's already done it. So you 2 are off the books. So Liz and Kathy, who wants to look at that?
Wait, what is that? That sounds cool.
Ooh, okay.
And
So
you're a good candidate,
Score.
Anna.
Keep the score is a tracker that we've got. So what we'll do tomorrow, I'll pull up the tracker.
Oh, our internal tracker that I'm failing so miserably at. Oh my God, that's the one. Okay.
It's perfect. Thank you,
I
Anna.
thought that was exciting. And then you mentioned that. I'm like, oh no.
I love how she volunteered for that. It's awesome. So I know this is perfect. I'm really glad you're doing it.
That's, what
What,
that
is that
means.
me?
Yes, you.
Did Eva
Oh,
send
okay.
us the link to enter our data? Because I haven't checked yet.
I sent it. I had Ava resend it. I'll have Ava resend it again. Hang on. She's going to start laughing because every Thursday I'm like, can you please resend the link? Send
Well, until we get trained, we're going to need a little extra push.
to the WD group today.
There are so many little things on my list of everything.
Yep. So you get to pick and choose the things that work for you. So yeah, if this is something that works for you, great. If this is not, the thing that I do like about it is it gives us a conversation around it every week for
Oh, yeah.
4 weeks. So that part I like. But if it's not a tool that works for you, then don't do it, because there's a 20 gamillion tools. So pick the tools. that
No,
work for you.
I totally love how accountable it makes me feel,
Yes.
despite the fact that I have not taken a step forward to actually eliminating time. I'm literally struggling to find time to do this stupid video thing, but I also know how important and powerful it is. Had I given myself another task, I would have been pretty good at scoring, but I gave myself the one that I'm having the most challenge carving out. But this is really, really good. It reminds me that I literally, that would make it 2 weeks of not having done what I had to do. So thank
You
you
would
for
not
that,
be
Tina.
you would not be alone there, Anna. I am in the same
No,
boat.
definitely.
I was supposed to
Oh, no.
do 2 phone calls a day, and we've got 2 full weeks, and I think I have 10, which means I've done half what I'm supposed to do. I might only have 8. I have to look. I'm trying to get in, but my stupid
No problem.
computer is like making me log in, and Lord knows what my password is. So I don't. I got to go find it.
And my-
Anyway,
My
so
definition is very loose of what those combos are for me.
of what those that's fine, because it's your score. You have the internal, and then we'll be tracking also like our effectiveness at it. But this is yours, so you can have whatever criteria you want to have. This is you. You know you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the
All right.
problem. I know me.
That's why I
gotta
went,
tell you,
mhm.
Just on full disclosure, yesterday I had my call with Joe, who Anna knows, who Anna's met. So I had my marketing call with Joe, and I haven't done what I needed to do. Twice I went to the computer. This is just excuses. None of this matters. I haven't done what I needed to do. That's the bottom line. And I was only like halfway done with what I needed to do. Oh God, I'm sensing a theme. Anyway, I woke up with this garbage story in my head, and I kept the garbage story. I kept on trying to push the garbage story out of my head, and it kept on coming back. And I was like, and I didn't realize until after the call with Joe that that's what it was, that I hadn't done what I had said I was going to do. And it made me feel horrible, and I hated it. I hate it. And then when the call got done, and it was a great phone call. I mean, he's gracious and kind and all that. And he's like, you really need to get this stuff done. I'm like, I know. I felt 1,000% better. And I'm like, that's what that was. And you did not like that feeling at all. Like, I hated it. It was like, and there was no getting around it. Clearly I had not done the stupid work. I'm like, all right, we're not going to go do that again, because that sucked. And I don't like waking up with a bad story in my head of you're a failure, you're a this, you're that. That's garbage. So there you go. It's massive. That accountability for me, which I did not think was going to be a big deal or something that I dreaded, was definitely something I dreaded.
Yeah.
It definitely affected me. So, all right. All right, you guys, we've talked entirely too much. Okay, hang on. I have talked entirely too much. It's just me. Okay, you guys have really good days. I'm super looking forward to tomorrow. Anna, I know that you didn't willingly volunteer, but I'm accepting you very graciously, and super looking forward to tomorrow anyway. So thank you.
My pleasure.
And I'll volunteer for the next one.
Wait, what are we
Get it out of
supposed
the
to
way.
do, guys?
So tomorrow when we jump on Zoom, I'll pull up the Keep the Score board, and I'll share so we can see everybody's scores. And then you get to just talk a little bit about it, about any part you want to, collectively, individually, however you want to address, or anything. It's really up to you.
I swear to you, I'm not trying to pass this off to anyone else, but tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment to draw labs. I'm supposed to go in at 8:30. My
Let's
check-in is
trade
at
with
8
Kathy.
o'clock, which
So
can I take the responsibility for next week, please?
Yeah, Kathy will trade with you.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
sorry.
volunteered for the one after that you just
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
But
Okay, let's switch, Kathy, if that's okay. I just don't want to end up being in the doctor's office and talk about some numbers and things like that they might just look weird
I
at me
will
for.
I will do my best. I'm also supposed to be at an appointment, and I know they have sucky signal, but I'll see if I can bring my jetpack and walk around. If it's not raining, I'll figure something out.
Cool. And if
I'm
nothing-
so sorry.
No, it's
all
okay.
fine. Don't worry. And by the way, y'all, I always have backup plans for everything. Or even if I don't, I pull stuff out of my back pocket. So it's always good.
It's okay, Anna.
It's all good. It
I'm
really
so sorry,
not good.
Kathy.
No, don't apologize. You could,
Nope,
that's more
no,
important than me dealing with a trainee.
So, all right, you guys. Craig, I cannot wait to see your photos. Y'all have great days. I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
incentive.
Bye,
Yay.
guys. Love you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.